day to be in space, but hey, you're not an astronaut, so it'll never happen, right? Well, things could start changing, and we're talking about SpaceX making an announcement this week that soon they are sending an all-civilian crew up into space. And to help us break this all down, we're bringing in right now Lucy Ibertu, a professor of space engineering at the University of Bristol. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Pleasure.
All right, so this is exciting news. First off, how many years in the making would you say this has been in the works?
This is something that's been building up gradually over the last 50 years for the space industry. Just like with the aircraft industry, it started in a very controlled way, and the developments came a lot through the military, and then gradually it became more and more commercial, and then everybody could eventually do it. This is a natural evolution for the space industry too. We need it commercialized, so it's really exciting for all of us in the space industry.
Yeah, it's totally exciting, but this is, I think, is this the first time we've been hearing about an all-civilian crew? I mean, normally, wouldn't you be paired up maybe with an astronaut or something like that?
Yes, that's what's really exciting about this mission, and an all-civilian crew. There is, we should point out, there is a qualified pilot who's leading the mission, Jared Isaacman. And then there'll be 3 other civilians, and they will have training, they'll have a flight physical, and they will spend a considerable time training, but it won't be in the order of the 2 years that typically NASA astronauts training is now and that they undergo.
And what type of mission would this be? Are we talking about just orbiting the Earth, or are we going a little bit farther than that?
No, they'll just be orbiting the Earth, I hope. It would be considerably more challenging to go further on. But this is just part of a suite of exciting new missions that are coming up. So there's a Japanese billionaire is apparently going to go on a ride. He's hitching a ride to the moon on Elon Musk's Starship. There's going to be another mission called AX-1, where 4 private astronauts are going to pay $55 million each. So they're going, and that's just Musk's operation. There's also Blue Origins, there's also Virgin Galactic. So we're seeing a bit of an explosion of exciting opportunities here for the wider public to see how accessible space is becoming.
Yeah, it truly is. And for someone that wants to do this, is this something, you know, because it's so rare, a lot of people obviously haven't done this, or is it something of a higher calling for people that want to pay this big price tag and go up into space? Or is it just to have the ego and the brag mentality that you could say next Thanksgiving, hey, look at what I did?
Yeah, I think this is something that not just billionaires can relate to, but everyone. I think a lot of school kids will really relate to this too. And who doesn't want to be an astronaut when they're 10 years old if they don't want to be a train driver or whatever? So I think that's what's so exciting about this, is that this opportunity, particularly this one, the Inspiration4 mission that we're talking about, will launch on the Falcon 9. And one of the opportunities is going to go to someone who just donates a few dollars to the this children's hospital, St. Jude's. And that person will get to go on the Falcon 9. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting so much. And now, do you think if these missions are successful for SpaceX and other companies, would you say maybe 10, 20 years down the line that these prices would go down? As to maybe it would be like if people are trying to reach Everest, would it be like those prices, maybe 20 to 30,000? Or no, it would just keep going up the price?
Well, at the moment, the prices we're seeing are between, so somebody's mentioned $75,000. Virgin Galactic's quite a bit more than that. So, but I think it will be coming down, just as aircraft flight tickets have gone down. I think eventually it will be the price of a trip to Disneyland, Disney World. And I'll be buying my ticket if I can.
Yeah, I mean, I think about that you look up into the sky and it just seems so unattainable because for years and years and years, it was just astronauts, but now regular people are starting for this to happen. And what does that do to a mindset to kind of make that mentality switch of you look up to the sky? Yeah, definitely can't do that. But now it's getting to be how does this translate into regular life as well? If you could go up into space, what else can you do?
Well, for me, what I think is really exciting about this, I teach lots of young people. And for me, I just think, wow, think of all the job opportunities. It's not just the cutting edge research scientists like me who get to work on this. And it's not just pioneers anymore. We need everyone for space in the very short-term future. You know, we're going to need the people who will go and live on Mars, who will live on our moon base. We're going to need nurses, we're going to need teachers, we're going to need all the different kinds of jobs. So for me, that's part of the excitement. It's not just the very specialist jobs, it's going to be everybody that we need. So that's really offers a lot of possibilities for young people.
Oh, sure it does. And what do you think has to happen from now until the end of the year for SpaceX to really launch this mission?
So if I was SpaceX, I would want to be recruiting and training my astronauts straight away. I would want to be launching quite a few more trips, and I'm sure they're planning to do this. They've already had 2 crewed trips already, so that's a good start. But I would want to have my professional astronauts doing quite a few more trips to simplify things. And that should be, obviously everything's going to be extremely safety checked. Elon Musk has already said that he's nervous every time somebody gets on board as a spacecraft because that's a huge responsibility for them as an operation. So you can be sure it will be very carefully monitored and will be as safe as they can possibly make it.
And Lucy, you said that you would love the opportunity to go in space. Tell me why.
Well, I'm afraid I was one of those kids who wanted to be an astronaut when I was 11. And yeah, that would just be a dream come true for me. So I would be going up straight away, only if I felt it was safe, but I'm sure it will be by the time I can afford it.
Sure. I mean, what the perspective would be from high above and seeing our own planet, that must be truly amazing. And Lucy, is there anything else that you'd like to add? Maybe I didn't ask you about?
I'd just like to add exactly what you said at the end, in that apparently one of the most wonderful sensations that you get, it's not just the thrill of the rocket ride, it's not just the 0G, but it's the perspective that we get on the Earth, and we look back and we see how precious our world is beneath us. I think that is the experience that I would love to have, and that I would love to share, and that I would love lots of people to share.
Yeah, that would truly remarkable. I think people that would then see just, wow, how little we are and how fragile life is when you get to see just how big our planet is and how little we are.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lucy Vertu, for all of your great insight. And I mean, this is just the beginning. I can't imagine what it's going to be 15, 20 years from now. So this is a great talk.